Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that haters, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flex, I never switch, you never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist,
I was legit ever since I blew they all on my hey back then didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked long that I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my 50. Ex slick then hit with the back then used to out the zip. Blow out the back then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things pull out the VIP. Suck turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip. Crush.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Here we go. 180!
Check 55, Mike. It's a party now.
Garoppolo gives to Breda. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Hey, gun.
On second down, a run with Breda. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Here we go. 180! Flag! Ahead! White!
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And going deep for Hill. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there for the Niners. 41 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us for their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
21.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. To the the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Here we go.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Breida. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers of reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go. 180!
Hey, tight. Slam.
21. Here we go. Hey, Steve,
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Key in 21. Alert 3. Put them on. Rest. Hey, watch that. Kill.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
27.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Throwing, Prescott. Being chased out left. He'll run it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
At the Niners 45-yard line.
Go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
Go to 54. Line.
Check 25.
Elliott running right. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 25-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Garoppolo. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's the end of the first quarter.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go. I got you.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Well, they only had a yard to go. They tried to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and he dialed up the pressure and got to him.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game.
Check. Lucky. We're going to 54.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
They come up in an offset eye.
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Tight dog. We're going to 53. 26.
Now Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he almost flirted with disaster there, but it does get into the end zone before going out, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A big play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front. Point after, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Check. Go to 54. Line.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas. All day. Woo! Let's get it.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. From the 38, Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On first down, here's Breida. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Hey, come on, come on, come on.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. Prescott looks to throw on first. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Prescott now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Let's go.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. And Myers able to knock it through. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
At their own 46-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd down.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. They're going deep for Hill. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Loss of 1 makes it 3rd and 14.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9. That's a 41-yard line.
I said we're going to 53.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack? It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
San Francisco.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Black 80! Watch the screen! Hey, alert! Alert! Alert!
Now it's Breida. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? or they're going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction.
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They run again with Breida. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
That's it, baby.
On the play. And it's 3rd down.
Here's where this crowd can really help make things difficult. It's 3rd and 3.
No. Jet bombers. Jet bombers.
Now Garoppolo. They're going deep for Hill. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Chidobe with a pick. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
2nd and 9 at the 37-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 17-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays. They're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go. I got this.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 26-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott, and he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
3rd and long for Prescott. A man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 16 and a Dallas first down. To throw is Prescott. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points.
Makes the score Niners 31, Cowboys 9.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
You got 3 down. We're going to 53.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Now Prescott on 4th down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown.
Touchdown,
Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Everyone's got 4.
Now Prescott. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Cooper was the target there, but now it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So the victory here for San Francisco, and they were